Hello everyone, this is Ashish and welcome back to the Momentum Podcast. There are a lot of people coming on for Momentum Podcast as guests you might have seen in the community post. But this one, I wanted to address your questions solo because that is also very, very important. I've done it a couple of times before that I'll put a community post and over there I'll ask that you can ask your questions. It will be addressed in the next Momentum Podcast, and that's what I did. I got a very good response and I got some like more than 100 comments which were asking some of the other questions, but I picked the top ones and the good ones. All right, so we are going to discuss them one by one, and if you want a particular specific question, they will be available in the timestamp available down in the description box, so you can pick. But I'll suggest to stick around the podcast. You need not see my face continuously. You might be listening to it while traveling, while working out, whatever, but I'll assure you one thing, that the knowledge that you're going to get over here will be crude and it will be good for you. All right. Getting started with the first and the topmost comment that we are having, it is by Viral Kakadia. What are the things one should keep in mind before getting into ISRO so that she won't feel regret after being there as scientists? See, in broader sense, what expectations one can have from ISRO and what not, and how one should prepare for a variety of situations she might face there. All right. Most people who have had experience with ISRO or any government job will most likely refrain from answering such questions. But I choose to answer such questions, especially because there might be a lot of people undergraduate. There might even be a lot of people who are in like 10th standard, 12th standard or something like that. They might choose their career or a battle that they want to fight, which competitive examination they want to give, based on these answers, that they should have a clear-cut idea of what job, what they should be expecting. All right. So I'm going to answer his questions properly to the best of my knowledge. Okay. So here's the thing. If you are interested in rocketry and space technology, really interested, okay, being interested and being really interested are different. Kind of interested is completely different. All right. Those people do not have the technology or the science as their priority. It is also like, it is a bonus for them that, okay, you are a ISRO scientist, so they can say a lot of people run after this. For brand also, that their parents will be very happy. Their neighbors will be taking their name every now and then and making their kids' life hells every now and then. But if you are really interested in the science aspect, in the technology aspect, in rocketry, I do not think that you are ever going to regret joining ISRO or working very hard to get into ISRO. All right. Now, with that said, if you are looking for just a government job, then it might be a problem, because there are a lot of government jobs in which you'll need to work much lesser. All right. For example, even in BARC, you'll be having a good work-life balance. Over there, you'll be needing to work from 9 to 5 mostly. But in ISRO, I've already talked about it in my Life at ISRO video, that you might need to do overtime. Majority of people do that. Majority of people work in Saturdays and Sundays as well. But that is a good side and a bad side. Bad side is that you'll have to work extra for the same amount of money. The good side is that you can grow as fast as you want to grow in that organization. So you are being handed over with that opportunity. So now, if you just wanted a government job, then you will be regretting joining ISRO, because that is not what you wanted. But if you are very interested in rocketry, there's always something new to learn over there. No matter if you are working over there for 6 months or 6 years or 30 years, you'll always find something or the other new to learn, because this is the field of rocket science. It is always growing, and we haven't even mastered minuscule of what we can do with space technology, right? So I think I was able to answer it perfectly. If you have any other questions, put it down in the comment section and let's move forward. It is kind of connected. The next question is by Arjit Saxena. In India, we get opportunities for doing research in the organization like BARC, ISRO, or do there also politics is played, or is there also politics played and we have to go according to the government policies? Okay. Here's the thing. Like I said before, a lot of people aim for organizations like BARC, ISRO, DRDO solely for number one reason is government job. The second reason might be the tag that comes along, that I'm a ISRO scientist or I'm a BARC scientist, like that I'm a DRDO scientist. That comes with a weight, all right, and it is definitely respected in the society. Okay, now those people will be causing problems, and a lot of people who just joined it because it was a government organization, they are not really interested in research. So to move forward, to get the promotions, those people might be playing politics. Okay, in every organization in the face of this planet, there has to be politics. Forget about organizations. In any place wherever there is a group of human beings, there will be politics, because all are humans. Okay, but what I would say is that in such organizations, see, Arjit Saxena most likely asked this question because he is not interested in politics. This person is interested in research. So he is asking whether I can grow in that organization and if the politics will not hinder my growth. This is the mentality of this person who wants to do research in that organization, and this is what he is afraid of. See, in such organizations, the kind of such people who are actually looking for research and are trying to stay away from politics will be more. Now, my experience is in working in BARC, or you can say Department of Atomic Energy, for 14 months and in ISRO for 16 months. So all I have experienced are mainly research-based organizations. I've been an intern for 4 months in Tata Cummins, and that was also for 2 months I was in R&D sector only. But what I would say is that in such organizations, definitely the amount of people who are trying to play politics would be much lesser. Won't you think so? Because these are highly educated people. You are going to find a lot of people who are doing masters, a lot of people who are doing PhD or have done PhD. So they are really interested in research field. A lot of them are. So for you to have chance of finding such people more will be higher in these organizations. So the politics will be comparatively lesser in these organizations. That I can say, if you look at it logically. All right. So what I think is that even in these organizations, if you want to do research, I do not think that politics has the power to stop you. Okay. If you want to do something in general, nothing has the power to stop you in general. All right. Moving forward to the next question. Garvit Banaola. Wanna join PSU like ONGC, NTPC, but due to current situation, it is looking very difficult. Single digit vacancies for general EC students. How can I motivate myself, as I have invested 1.5 years and not focused on my current IT job? Now I'm 2019 pass out. Now here's the thing, Garvit. You have to look at only one thing that is going to give you a clear-cut litmus paper test. All right, what is that? Look at what was your previous GATE score. That is probably this year would be GATE 2020. Okay, if you haven't even given GATE 2020, then the category is same, that you have scored very poorly in GATE 2020. Okay, because you are out of touch. But if your score has been less than 50, all right, less than 50 marks, then now would be a good chance to not focus towards GATE examination that much. But also at the same time, I would say that you are having a job already, right? And most likely it is not a job that would go away because you're not performing that well. I understand when you're preparing with a job, you are most likely going to perform very poorly in your job. I've done that, so I know that, right? Now, if that job is going to fire you if you do not perform well, then I would say just forget about GATE preparation. Focus on your job, because these days jobs are very rare. All right, it's becoming more and more difficult. But if that is not an issue, for example, people who are working in TCS, I do not think they are under threat of getting fired. Let me know, TCS people, down in the comment section, what is the situation. But there are jobs in which you are not going to get fired. You might be getting lesser hike or lesser chances in promotion. That might be the case. But if you're not getting fired, I would say 100% go towards GATE examination or ESE examination or BARC or ISRO examination, because you do not have much to lose. You can move from 50 marks to a position where you can get into BARC. I got 50 marks in GATE 2016, and in 2017 series I was able to get into IIT Bombay and BARC, right? So that is also very, very possible, but you will have to work extremely hard. Now this is what I did in BARC training school. In 2017 I got rejected in ISRO, but I worked extremely hard with a job and I performed very poorly in that job. There used to be a proper ranking and I came last over there. That means that I risked the job that I'm having right now, but I was able to crack ISRO. But in the worst case scenario, if I would not have cracked ISRO, I would still have a job in Department of Atomic Energy. It would be a poor placement, but still I would be having a job. So it depends on you if you want to take that risk. If your job is at risk, then I would not say that you should do that. Focus on your job right now. Also, if you're scoring above somewhere around 70 marks in GATE 2020, you have already scored that much, I would say that you have a very good chance. So you should focus on your competitive examination. And I say competitive examination and not GATE examination, because here's the thing. Now only 2 or 3 PSUs are properly left in your GATE examination, that too with very less seat. You should not forget about ISRO and BARC, because ISRO, especially for electronics and communication engineering, a lot of seats are there, almost equal to mechanical engineering, almost equal. Like if mechanical will be having 45 seats, EC will be having 40 seats or something like that, right? So a huge amount of recruitment is going on for EC. So do not forget about that in ISRO. And in BARC also, you guys are having good chance, like 10 to 15 seats will be there in BARC, right? And BARC does recruitment every year. So you should focus on that also. That is like 50% of your chances of getting selected. You should not completely forget about that. And for you to get selected in ISRO or BARC, the preparation is not 100% connected towards your GATE preparation. You have to study a little bit extra. So don't forget about that. Solve your previous year questions of ISRO as well, right? Also, I would say that PSUs have to create profit. And your BARC, ISRO or DRDO, these are central government organizations. These are research organizations. Like that is why they were created. They do not have to actually show profit. And a situation where lockdown is there, the profit is definitely going to get hit by every organization, for every organization, right? So PSUs are going to suffer. Over there, there might be decrease in recruitment. Yes, there might be a decrease in recruitment in ISRO and BARC also, but the chances are less if you're looking for that. So right now, it is going to be a very big mistake if you completely eliminate that opportunity. All right. So don't only focus on GATE if you're going for competitive examination, also focus for BARC and ISRO. Okay. I hope I was clear. Garvit, this question had 10 likes, so I was most likely able to please all 11 of you. Now next, how to improve calculation skills in numerical. Okay, here's the thing. I've already made a video on how to increase numerical solving skills, but this question is very, very common. So I'm going to answer it properly for once more. Okay, so let's go. So here's the thing. A lot of people think that to solve numericals very fast or very accurately, you need to have some special kind of skills. A lot of people also ask me to make a video on special techniques that you need to know to solve numericals very fast. Now here's a little bit of my background story. I cracked a competitive examination named ISRO. Over there are 80 questions to be solved in 90 minutes. The most common pattern of competitive examination, especially when it comes to PSUs and BARC, ISRO, every examination other than GATE examination, that almost one question, 1 minute. In ISRO, it is offline system, so you are definitely going to require more than 10 minutes to fill the bubbles. Okay. Now I was super poor when it comes to solving numericals. When it comes to making silly mistakes and inaccuracy while solving problems, I was the topper. Okay. I was very bad in solving numericals very fast. I used to make a lot of silly mistakes. And the reason how you can understand that is true is because in 2017, I did not perform that well in GATE examination. My rank was 1825. Okay. But still, that is not making me eligible to crack any PSU or anything like that. But still, I was able to crack BARC written test. And the sole reason why I credit it is because BARC has a higher selection ratio. That if one person is going to get selected into BARC, then for that 20 people are going to appear for the interview. And the interview is independent of the written test. That makes the written test much easier. That means I was having an easier time cracking BARC written test. Now, since BARC interview was independent of the marks in the written test, I was able to prove them that I'm good in mechanical engineering. All right. So obviously, if scientists of BARC are selecting me for getting into the training school of BARC training school, right? Definitely I'm good in engineering, but I was bad in solving numericals in limited amount of time. This was another reason why I failed in ISRO 2017. That happened in May 2017. Also, another proof is that in IIT Bombay, I appeared for RA, written test and interview. So in written test, 126 people got selected to go for the interview round. My rank was 116. But when it happened in the interview, it was like some percentage of weightage is going to be given to the gate score, some percentage of weightage is going to be given to the written test score, and some percentage will be given to the interview. But in interview, I was again able to prove myself so well that I was good in mechanical engineering that ultimately what my rank came out to be was 10 in that RA. Even though I was 116, when only 126 people got selected in the written test. That means at the end, right? So obviously I was good in engineering, but I was bad in solving numericals very fast. Now comes ISRO, where I really wanted to be. But over there, the first round was written test, and the written test, you need a huge amount of speed, 80 questions in 90 minutes, right? And I've already failed in that before. And also the selection ratio of ISRO is half the selection ratio of BARC. That means only 1:10. If one person is going to get selected into ISRO, only 10 people will be called for the interview. So for me to move to from a position where I'm very bad in solving numericals in a limited amount of time, I have to go to a position where I have to be literally one of the best in solving numericals in limited amount of time. Now, how I was able to achieve that level? I did not read any book on Vedic mathematics. Okay. Also, I did not watch a YouTube video which was telling me tricks of how to solve numericals very fast, or how to not make silly mistakes, or how to improve your accuracy. What I did was a rigorous amount of practice. I practiced day and night. Whatever new question I used to get, I used to practice it. And not any new question. I used to solve all the previous year questions from, let us say, ISRO, engineering services, PSU, GATE, whatever new question I used to get, I used to solve all of them, and a lot of them multiple times. The star mark question, I've talked about it in the star mark question video, that after 1 to 2 months of you putting the star in a typical question, difficult question will seem almost like a new question. And I used to solve all of them. And if you look especially for mechanical engineering, the question bank of the previous year questions is huge. A lot of people will be buying these question banks made by a lot of coaching institutes, which are made by faculties of those coaching institutes or the content development team. I never suggest people to buy those, because those are made by people who are not actually going to set any question paper of any competitive examination, right? But what you should get better at is solving questions which have appeared in competitive examination. And thankfully for core branches, there's an abundance of such questions. See, here's the thing that you need to understand. The type of questions in this world is infinite. There are a few questions which will take hours for you to solve. There are a few questions that will take just 1 minute for you to solve. There are questions that will take 3 minutes. There are questions that will take 5 minutes. There are questions in the back page or the behind of a particular chapter of PKNAG or any good reference book. There are questions which any book in the books of local reference books. There are questions of previous year questions, and there are questions made by some coaching institute, by some content development team. Infinite number of types of questions. But you do not need to be good at solving infinite types of questions. You have to be good at solving one particular type of questions. A particular type of questions which is having, let us say, question given and then 4 options, which is going to take, let us say, 1 to 2 minutes for you to solve. It does not mean if you're good at solving the questions of PKNAG book, you'll also be good at solving the questions of GATE examination. Yes, it will help. Your concept is improving. But when you try to solve those kind of questions, it is not necessary that you are going to be best or one of the best in solving that kind of question when you face the question of a GATE examination or ISRO examination. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to become good at solving a particular type of question. So that is best done by the previous year questions or that kind of examination. a bracket of examination. For example, GATE, Engineering Services, ISRO, BARC questions you will not be able to find, but PSUs, these are all going to give you same level of questions, almost the same system. Other than GATE examination, all the questions will be one question, 1 minute. You have to solve it. Most of them will be having no calculator utilization. So you should be good at solving that. And the only way you become good at solving those questions is by solving more and more of them. Right now, here's the thing. I can tell you a trick, like how to find 2 to the power something point something. I have a trick down my sleeve that I use. I have few tricks that I use while solving some logarithmic values, okay, that is used to solve without calculation. But those are the tricks that I devised. If I tell you right now, you won't be able to apply it in examination. The only way you'll be able to do it if you find your ways. That is the one that you'll be able to apply. That is why I say that you should be solving more and more questions, because when you do that and when you force yourself to solve those questions without calculator, you will be able to develop those tricks that are good for you, that are comfortable for you, which finally you are going to be able to use in your competitive examination, right? So it is very important for you to practice. It is very important for you to understand what to practice, and while you're practicing, force yourself to solve it without calculator, and that will inevitably going to increase your practice over time, and it is going to increase your speed. It is going to improve your accuracy. A lot of people have this problem and they think that this is only a problem for them. Others are able to solve problems very accurately without making any silly mistakes. But I've taken seminars and I've just asked people, seminars having like 50 to 70 to even 100 people sitting in a room, and I just asked them, raise your hands, who are the people who are facing problems while having good accuracy or making less silly mistakes or solving problems very fast. Majority of people raised hand. That was around 70 to 80% of people. These are not minorities. Like, you might be thinking that I'm among the minority, that I'm not able to solve problems very fast or very accurately, but actually you are among the majority. And there are some who will not need as much practice because they are naturally developed in that manner. Maybe they were good till their 12th standard, or they also prepared for IT examination or something like that. But if you have not done that, now is the time for you to invest time in that and develop that threshold amount of practice that you require. Okay, so everything improves with that only. Like I said, the story already I've told you that I was terrible at this, but I was able to reach a level when my final third attempt of ISRO examination, I was all India rank 85 when it came to written test, under 100, right? I was able to reach that level. And my first attempt of ISRO, I think I did not even qualify. My marks was 111 when the cutoff was 139. So you can understand how much difference I can create in just 1 year. You understand? You can also do that. But that practice is absolutely must. And there is no other secret for you to improve your accuracy or to decrease your silly mistakes. You just need to practice. Okay. Now, moving to the next question. Please give some brief about IIT MTech placements. Brief information about IIT MTech placement. If I get a good course in IIT MTech Madras versus PSU job, which can I choose? Please answer. Okay, I'll answer it to as much information that I have. See, in general, the placements in mechanical engineering, electronics and communication and computer science, it is a completely different thing. Okay, if you're getting a very good chance, very good college and very good branch for computer science engineering or electronics and communication, for example, VLSI, you're getting in ISC Bangalore, okay, in electronics and communication. It does not matter what PSU you are going to get. If you're interested in doing study in that, definitely you should go for masters, all right? Because that is going to give you much higher package. But in mechanical, I can say, and even in civil, what you are going to see is that average package that you're going to get in top IITs, like in IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, will be somewhere around like 8 lakh, 10 lakh only, all right? And that too in a private organization. If you are very interested in government organization, then you should definitely go for PSUs if you're getting a choice and your objective is money. All right. So if you want a safe job, if you want a comfortable job, good job, respectable job, then you should not go for MTech, because here's the thing that you need to know about MTech. You will require to study very hard. Just getting into a good college is not sufficient, because once you get in, everyone else who also got in will also be having the same level. Now it is again a level playing field, and again you have to work very hard, because if you want a very good package. And 1 or 2 in every top IITs, you're going to see like 13 lakh package, 25 lakh package. That will be the case. All right, and those will be going to the people who worked very hard during their MTech, did very good project and performed very well. So if you're getting into MTech, you're almost again saying that I'm again ready for the competition, and I'm again ready to work very hard. All right. And like I already said, the average package is 8 to 10 lakhs. So PSU will be still higher with the job security. All right. So it depends on what you want. Okay. So I think I was able to clear 100% of it. Other IITs, if I talk about that, if I talk about IIT Hyderabad, or even to a huge extent IIT Delhi. IIT Delhi is good when it comes to placement, but not as good as IIT Bombay or even IIT Madras. IIT Madras is skyrocketing. Till 2017, it was going very good. Till even 2018, then this lockdown has hurt almost every college. Do not know how it is exactly going to turn out as, but IIT Bombay and obviously ISC Bangalore is the top level. All right, over there people do not even bother for sitting for placements, because that is the kind of exposure that they get over there, and the future opportunities are so good, right? So ISC Bangalore, you do not have to worry about anything. But if you look at other like Roorkee, Mandi and these IITs, placements are almost very negligible. It is very less. Okay, there might be cases, but again it becomes very difficult. If you're good, you're going to get placed anywhere, no matter where you go. Okay, if you're not good, if you're looking for average or how much people are getting selected, then top IITs only. Kanpur, Kharagpur are also good, but also they are coming below Bombay and Madras, and IIC as at the top. All right, and when it comes to NIT, Trichy, Warangal, Calicut, you are going to have good chances, and rest there are no placements. Okay, so obviously, if you're saying PSU versus MTech, you are saying basically top IITs versus PSU. So I hope that I was able to clear your question. Naufal rocks. Okay, 15 likes in this one, so I was able to answer all of you guys most likely. If you are having any more questions, put it down in the comment section. We'll be taking care in the next podcast where I'll be addressing your questions maybe. Velmurgan N. This is a very old follower of mine. I know this person. Is knowing Hindi required to survive smoothly in PSUs, ISRO, or any central government job? Okay, I know why he's asking this question, because this guy is Tamil, and obviously Tamil people, majority of them are having huge problem in understanding Hindi. Okay, when I was in ISRO, I had a friend who was Tamil who used to speak like flawless Hindi, because he has lived in Hyderabad for like 10 years. Okay, but majority of people who are Tamil can only interact in English when they get outside Tamil Nadu. All right, or even in Kerala, Tamil people will be having comfortable time, because most of the Malayali people also know how to speak Tamil. Anyways, moving forward to try to answer this question, no, you are not going to have any problem in any PSUs or central government organization, because I have worked in a center of ISRO which was in South India, and our daily language was English only. All right, but when you go to north also, for example, I was posted for 2 months before I left Department of Atomic Energy for ISRO in Mumbai area. Okay, so over there we used to talk in Hindi only, but everybody knows English and everybody will understand that you do not understand Hindi, so you will not be having any problem. Yes, when it comes to the labor level, okay, if you want to try to interact with workers like that, then it will definitely be a problem, right? Even when I went to Sriharikota or ISRO Propulsion Complex, which is in Tamil Nadu, or VSSC, which is in Trivandrum, these areas, if you try to interact with labor class people who are worker level or contract level, they are not understanding Hindi, they are not understanding English, a lot of them. Okay, so I also used to have problem, but there's always a way out. Okay, there's always a way out. We used to find a way out. There are a lot of North Indian people working down south, so South Indian people working, going up top, like there's no problem. I do not think there's any problem, Will Morgan. So yeah, English, you might be knowing or you might not be knowing, English is official language of India. There are 2 official languages of India, English and Hindi. Also, this is also a very fun fact that I will let you know. Every center, at least for central government organizations, I know, because I've seen it in BARC also, I've seen it in ISRO also. There's a Hindi cell. All right, so there's a Hindi cell which will be teaching you Hindi. Okay, so you can take classes over there, and actually non-Hindi mother tongue people are actually getting rewarded over there. Like there are competitions, and if they perform very well among the people who do not speak Hindi, they'll get like 1,000 rupees or 3,000. That friend that I was talking about, no, who was Tamil but was very good in Hindi, he used to always participate in that. Okay, so you will be getting classes. That is perfectly fine. If you want to learn Hindi also, that is also opportunity for you, because like I said, Hindi is also an official language, so you will be trained if you want to do that. Okay, all right, moving forward. Another second question is also by Will Murugan, and this comment got 11 likes, so I decided to take it because it is also aligning with an idea that I'm having right now. Okay, what is that? Believe it or not, 2 days back I had a dream of talking with you in a podcast. Till now, I don't know how much knowledge I have, but next 6 months, I am going to be best version of me for preparation. See, here's the thing. I want all of you guys to be very successful in your life, whether it is competitive examination, or you want to start a business, or you want to have private job, or anything. If you want to be an entrepreneur, anything it is, I want you guys to be very successful. But I do not think that success should be the judge of a person being on podcast. All right. I think that every person has something or the other to share. So I was thinking, this was an idea that came into my head a long time back, that let us do one podcast or momentum podcast with a follower of this channel. That was in my head that I wanted to do that, right? I also thought that let us do a momentum podcast, like 10th episode of it with a follower. Okay, because that is something that nobody does. Okay, everyone calls like big guests, like who are very famous. Why they do it is because they are already famous. They are going to get more crowd. But what about the crowd? You have to pay attention towards that also, no? Right? So I was thinking that one day we can do an online kind of thing, or if you are in Bangalore, we can do it like offline also. Right, but right now lockdown is all there, so online is always better. So I'll do something like that, like give a paragraph or something, like explain your journey so far and why you think that the podcast is going to be very interesting, and we are going to go through it and we are going to find the best one. And there will be certainly one follower who you have never heard of before. If he or she wants to come on the Momentum podcast, we are going to have an interaction, like 1 or 2 hours of interaction. By the way, yesterday also I did a podcast with Anshuman, and that is also coming up very soon. The next podcast is going to be that only, and we had a very tremendous discussion, man. You are going to love it. I loved it. Like, I did not know so many things about Anshuman Mehta the way we talked over there, right? And it was very, very interesting. Gunjan sir is delayed for now, okay, because there's some personal issues which when it is fixed, we are going to do it. He said that as soon as it is fixed, we are going to do it. All right, so that is also coming up. I'm thinking of calling Sushant also, Sushant Kumar Jha, you might be knowing, all India rank 16, I think, in engineering services 2017. So because of all these lined up, I was not able to make Momentum podcast 10 like that. Also in middle, I had to address at least one podcast answering your questions, okay, because that is also very, very important. Okay guys, so that is in my head, well, Mulkan. Okay, it is going to happen someday or the other, very soon, maybe 25th episode or something like that. Okay, I do exercise, take oats in breakfast, but when I sit for study, I feel lazy and sleepy. How I overcome this? My sleep time is 10 p.m. and I get up at 4:30. Okay, there might be multiple reasons, Nitish, for this. The question is by Nitish Kumar. See, one reason might be that you are new in this routine. All right, like just 1 month, even in 1 month, your body will not get that much accustomed. Okay, this is a crazy routine, like sleeping at 10 p.m. and waking up at 4:30. It is difficult, but if you're new, it will be even more difficult. Okay, so if you're new, give it some time. The second thing would be you're taking perfect breakfast. All right, now I remember my days when I was preparing for competitive examination. It used to be tough. Like you are preparing for competitive examination day by day. Again, you are studying only. It used to be drowsy for me also when I used to wake up and start studying. So what I used to do at the end phase of my preparation, that I used to give test series in the morning. Okay, when you're drowsy, give test series. Your sleep will go away. Okay, so that is one thing. Other thing would be that go out for a walk. All right, now this is something that my father taught me a long time ago, because he's also an engineer. A few of the things that he taught me used to be very, very important. Okay, He said that one day before the examination, I was saying that I'm feeling very sleepy. Okay, how to study that? He said to just go out and take a walk for 5 minutes. And I did that. And when I returned, I felt very fresh. Okay, that also works. So sometimes all you need is just fresh air and a little bit of surrounding. You walk over there, you'll feel better. Also, when I was preparing for competitive examination, when I used to feel very sleepy, what I used to do is do a little bit of martial art movement. So physical activity is always going to increase your blood pressure, but flow the rate at which your blood is flowing, something like that. I do not know the medical terms, but it is going to wake you up. Okay. Also, what you can do is maybe take a little bit of power nap. I've talked about this in one video, but in the morning itself, it is not suggested. After you studied for like 2 hours, take a power nap. I've made a video on that also. So there might be multiple reasons. Okay, what is the cause of that? You'll have to find out, but every problem has a solution and you'll have to look for it properly. All right. Okay. So moving forward, and what I want to say over here, that it is not something which is rare. Okay, happens to almost everyone. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit hot, so I'm going to take off my jacket. Now, next, speaking takes a lot of energy. Now, moving forward, how one should prepare effectively for any technical interview. See, here's the thing. There's no Ramban or something like that. Okay, there's no Brahmastra, one single thing that is going to work for everything. Right? It does not work like that. Every interview has a different way of preparation. For example, if you're preparing for an HR interview, it's definitely going to be much different than a technical interview. Okay, depends on that. But what I would say works for every interview is going through few of the questions, if you can get, of that interview that has appeared in past, like you can find it on Quora or something. Practice answering that kind of question. What also works in all the interviews is your personality. All right, so you have to be good. The way you stand, the posture and all, and the way you speak, your spoken English and all, that should be very, very good. If you can work on that, it is definitely going to play as an advantage. All right, and also one common tip there, basically, now this is the third common tip that I can give you, is that one question is common regardless of which interview you're going to appear in. That is, introduce yourself. Right? So that should have a very well fabricated answer. All right, in a way that it is not too long. You do not want to waste your interviewer's time, but it should be perfect. All right, I think I've already made a video on interview guidance. You should check out that playlist. It is having 4 or 5 videos. I've over there talked about what you should be introducing about. Okay, hell, I'm going to talk about it again so that you do not have to go to another video, but check that playlist out. It is also having some more tips, important tips. Now, how should you introduce yourself? My full name is this. Let us say I'm introducing myself. My full name is Ashish Ranjan. I did my BTech from, so I'm going to repeat it again. Okay. My full name is Ashish Ranjan. I did my 10th standard from Ranchi, Jharkhand. I had a CGPA of 9.2. I did my 12th from same school in Ranchi, Jharkhand, and I had a percentage of 75%. Then I got into BTech and I did pretty well in BTech because I started to work very hard. I was very interested in engineering and I finally turned out to get a CGPA of 9.57. After that, I prepared for competitive examination and I was able to get into BARC. I cleared that interview and the written test, obviously. And then I got over there and did 1 year training in BARC training school, got a degree in nuclear science and engineering. And finally, I decided that my true ambition is to get into Indian Space Research Organization. So I appeared for the written test. By the way, this was the 3rd time that I appeared in this written test. I failed in the first 2 attempts, but this time I cleared the written test and thus I'm sitting in front of you in the interview. So basically try to understand this. Number 1, I started with my name, obviously, and then I got into my education. And when it comes to education, 10th standard, 12th standard, mention the percentage, and then move to the BTech. And then over there, mention your CGPA. And then if you're having any work experience that you want to show, you can mention it that. Then I'll take a pause. And if they're moving their head like they're interested in knowing more, then I'll be explaining my hobbies, all right? Because that is telling them more about you. Then I'll be telling that, my hobbies, especially martial arts and public speaking. I'm a black belt in Shotokan Karate and I've done 7 seminars across the country. So these are my experiences. And if they are still moving their head that they want to listen more, then you can talk about their parents, your parents. Like my father is a mechanical engineer. He is now retired. He worked in heavy engineering corporation. My mother is an artist. Like that, you can explain as far as they are interested. So you are going to stop at the first level only. For example, first level would be my BTech percentage is this, and after that, this is the job experience. You're going to stop over there if they start asking other questions. Okay, but if they're interested, continue. Okay, so this is very important, how you introduce yourself. So this will be most important for you in the interview, because this is going to give them the first impression of what is your personality like, how you are explaining yourself, and also what is your background, what kind of person you are. It is giving a lot of idea to them that which place you were born and how you were raised and what kind of student you were, what are the job experiences that you had, and what are your hobbies, what are your parental background. Everything is they are getting in a very short amount of time, like 1 to 2 minutes, right? So you're not wasting time. You're giving them crystal clear concept of who you are. That is introduce yourself. Okay, so this will be how to prepare effectively for interview. And he asked basically any technical interview. So for that technical interview, what you need to do is just go through the previously asked question in that particular technical interview. You can always find some online. Quora is a good place to find that. All right, if you want to read my interview experience of ISRO interview or BARC interview, I'll link it down in the description box so that you can go through it. Now moving forward, there are a lot of questions. Okay, now this is important one because it is related to third year. It is very important to address their problems. For a third year student who has already completed 4 to 5 subjects and aiming seriously for GATE 2021, what would be him or her for 6th semester? Okay, already completed 4 to 5 subjects. If you have already completed 4 to 5 subjects now, go full blaze towards GATE 2021 because you are having a good shot. That means that you are going to complete your syllabus. You are going to give around 12 full length test series and then appear properly, because if you have completed 4 to 5 subjects properly, you're in a very good spot. This is kind of a spot where a lot of people in your 8th semester, 7th semester would be. All right. So let us see what else is he asking. Uchiha? This is a Naruto fan. Levi Uchiha. I know about Sasuke Itachi. Who's Levi? Let me know down in the comment section. Okay. Internship companies, projects in colleges, internship in research like IITs. Okay, I do not know why separate questions like this. Alright, but if you are serious for GATE 2021, okay. What would be better for him, her in 6th semester? Internship in companies. 6th semester, you do not require to go for internships. All right, it is not necessary. What is necessary is you are having an internship in your 8th semester. Project in college is mostly useless. All right, so if you're getting an option between internship in a company and project in college, better go for company. Okay, there you'll be having much freedom also. Next, internship in research IITs. If you're getting some research in IITs, then that would be good. But if you're preparing for GATE examination, I would say that do not waste your time with internships. You'll get plenty of time after your GATE 22 appearance when you are in your 8th semester. Okay, so it is not must, but still if they're saying that you have to do a project, then what you should be doing is that do the project half-heartedly and focus more on GATE examination, because you have already completed 4 to 5 subjects, Uchiha. Maybe you used your Sharingan, and then you can continue your preparation to prepare well for GATE 2021. All right, so focus more on GATE 2021. That is what I'm saying, and that is what I used to do in my I also did a project, industrial project in my 6th semester, something like that. I did it in Tata Motors, but over there also I was preparing for GATE examination only mainly. So I used to solve more and more questions and used to spend less time in my internship because that is more important. Okay, moving forward. How to justify 2 to 3 year gap in PSU, BARC, ISRO, MTech interview. See, Ram Kumar, I've already made a video on does year gap matter. Okay, I'll link it down in the description box. I've explained it in a very good manner over there. All your questions will be answered. 2 year gap, 3 year gap, 4 year gap. I've answered all of them. So it will be in the description box. It is also in English. So it won't be a problem. So go through it. All right. Next. How much time? Okay, already almost an hour. Is your PSU privatization video? Okay, in your PSU privatization video, at last you talked about start something on your own side by side. So please guide us on how we can start it in our college in second or third year. See, I would say that the best time to start something side by side would be in your undergraduate period only, because over there the burden is much lesser, okay, and the amount of time that you guys get is humongous, okay. So I'm going to start a series of videos on YouTube step by step, podcast step by step, how to grow in these field or how to grow in Instagram also. The videos are going to come very soon, this week itself. All right, so don't worry about that. There will be one video in this category every week coming up, okay. I have a full set of 10 steps or 10 videos that you'll need to follow and understand 100% about all of this going on in the online social media, how you can create money from there also. All right, moving forward, how a person with MSc Physics can join ISRO. Now, this is a very, very frequently asked question. Unfortunately, I was never able to talk about it in any specific video, because I actually talked about it in 5 ways to get into ISRO. Basically, I said this is how masters get into ISRO, masters people get into ISRO, and they thought that I'm only talking about MTech, but MS people also have the same chances. Now, here's how you appear or get into ISRO if you are having MSc in physics or chemistry. All right, so there will be center based recruitments. There might be recruitment in or vacancies in VSSC, or there might be vacancies in LPSC or IPRC or URSC. It depends where the vacancy comes. Are the vacancies fixed every year? No. Is the frequency fixed every year? No. How do I find out about these vacancies? Go to their websites. Go to URSC website, go to VSSC website, go to IPRC website. Like that, you can find out about that going to the careers tab. All right. So both, even after BSc also, there are a lot of vacancies. Those posts will be scientific assistant, right? For like example, technical assistant post will be there for diploma people. Scientific assistant post will be there for science student after BSc, and scientist post will be for those who are done with MSc. Similarly, there will be a lot of vacancies for PhD people also. They will directly get into there for as scientist D. All right, so keep those things. The place where you can find these things are in their respective websites: VSSC, LPSC, IPRC, URSC, SAC, Ahmedabad, right? So you can find in their websites when the vacancy is there, but you have to be very, very active, okay? So if that vacancy is there, then they will directly call you for interview. A lot of times they will directly call you for interview. They will take your interview, and if they are pleased, then they are going to select you as scientist if you are appearing after MSc, or sometimes there might be written test. Depends, because it is completely dependent on that particular center. The pattern will be varying according to the center, and also the kind of questions they will ask, because different centers have different utilizations. So they will be asking questions focused towards the requirement of the technology in that center. For example, if you go for URSC, they will be more focused towards satellites. If you go to LPSC, they will be more focused towards propulsion, right? So it depends which center you are applying. For example, if you're going for VSSC, they want a master student for their space physics laboratory. They will be more interested in astrophysics, okay? So it depends which center you are appearing for. So I think I was able to clear 100% of it. If you still have more questions, put it down in the comment section. Moving forward, by the way, this podcast will also be available on Spotify, Google Podcast, Stitcher, and all those audio platforms, Anchor and all. So you can listen to the audio version of this over there. And if you're already listening in audio form only, these comments that I'm talking about, I'm talking on the YouTube channel Talk4712 TORQ4712. And this is the Momentum Podcast. You're going to find it out very easily. Now, moving forward to the next question, that is by Nitin Yadav. There's always confusion whether to go for IES or GATE. And after looking at the current scenario, what you think one should go for? See, my answer to it is very simple. Go for whatever you are more interested in, right? So your number of vacancies should not cause any hindrance to the judgment of what you are really interested in, right? So but still, if you're just looking for a job, I personally do not think, I asked this question with Gaurav Joshi also, asked this question with Akash Tyagi sir also. And I personally, what I think, that engineering services examination that was going on right now is not worth it, especially for general students, okay? Because over there, the general studies that you have to study is way far away from any general studies that you have to prepare for any other competitive examination like PSUs and all. So if you're just looking for a job, I do not think it is a better option. I think IRMS would be a better option for you guys, because you are getting the Indian Railways job and you can focus towards that. All right. But GATE, again, GATE is also not having a lot of opportunities. So I would say that prepare for GATE, ESE, ISRO and BARC, and appear for all. If you're not that much interested towards engineering services, then what you can do is leave the general studies part, but appear for that, because that is going to give you an experience, and do solve all the ES previous year questions, especially if you're a mechanical engineer, because that is going to give you the practice like we talked about in the increasing speed part. All right. So that is my suggestion. Do keep in mind ISRO and BARC. Please do not forget about that, especially in this time, because those are central government organizations. Okay, what is the correct way of studying? Correct way of studying is following videos of Talk 4712. End of the answer. Why do people, just kidding guys, there might be other people also telling you about correct way of studying, but yeah, correct way of studying does not have any single answer. All right, there are a lot of other ways, like you should be using Pomodoro technique, how you should be knowing about taking power naps, and the kind of routine that you should be having throughout the day. For example, I made a video on daily routine also, no, or how you should be planning. It is a composition of all those things, so you should keep all of those things in mind. Proyal Mash, if that's your actual name. Keshav Chaudhary asks, why do people leave after selection in ESE and start teaching in coaching institutes? Is there something that people get to know after going into it? Okay, I'll answer that question. See, I honestly think that is not the case. Okay, because if I look at my batch of BARC training school, where I studied in 2017 to 2018, there's not a single person who actually left. Okay, there are more than single person. I left because I got into ISRO. Gaurav left because he got into engineering services. There was another one friend who left because he got selected into ONGC. Okay, anyone else did not actually leave for coaching institute. So that question I do not agree with. Nobody left that organization and joined a coaching institute. Now let us talk about ISRO, my batch. There was one person who left because he got selected into engineering services. I left because of the reason that crazy dream that I have. And nobody else left actually. One person again left because he got selected into PMRF program in IISc Bangalore. All right, he got a very good post or very good branch. He is, I think, in VLSI. So nobody actually left to join and teach in coaching institute, right? So I do not think that they do, but earlier it used to be the case. What I would say is that the job might become a little bit of repetitive, okay? And a lot of people are not good with having bosses being told to do what they have to do, which ultimately, if they are teaching in coaching institute also, they are going to have a boss, okay? You are going to take class like they tell you to, all right? But money is certainly a thing that you should consider over here, because coaching institutes are going to give you a tremendous amount of money, okay? I know how much money a coaching institute can pay me right now if I decide to start teaching in a coaching institute, that it might be easily 5,000 rupees per hour. All right, it goes more than that. I've seen people who are teaching in coaching institutes riding BMW. I've never seen a public sector undertakings employee or central government employee driving a BMW, right? So money might be an issue, and different people have different priorities, and some people genuinely like to teach. All right, that is also an experience of teaching in coaching institute, because people are very serious. Students are very serious over there and they want to teach, so they join a coaching institute because they are getting more money. They are expressing themselves by teaching because that is their interest, and they do not have that much foundation. All right, like if you're teaching in a coaching institute now, then you're basically working on contract basis, right? So you're not bound towards that organization for a long period of time. So as far as you need the money, you serve over there. When you don't want, you leave, right? It is simple. But also I've heard about some dreadful stories, and especially IIT JEE coachings, that people go over there to teach in coaching institute. They get good amount of money, but when they want to leave, they're tied in lawsuits, okay? Because a lot of coaching institutes in JEE level, IIT JEE level, where the money is actually much higher when it's compared to the engineering services or things like that, right? So they are tight. Like, they have, a lot of them have the system of signing bond of 3 years or so, and if they leave earlier, they're just roaming around with a lawyer like, get me out of this, okay? But in ESE gate, I do not think that is a problem. So I think I was able to answer your question, Keshav. And talk on new education system on India and its effect on the engineering graduates. Yes, that is a very good topic, and we have already planned to talk about that. It is going to be on Talk and Fire podcast, and the next one that is going to come out this Friday only, it is going to be on this very topic, and we are deciding that we are doing that, okay, gathering information about that, because there are basically policies do have a lot of points, so we are going to discuss all of that. If you do not know what I'm talking about, there's another podcast that we run actually, I along with Komal, and its name is Torque and Fire. It is on Komal's YouTube channel named Amalgam. I'll link it down in the description box if you're interested. Right, so over there we are going to talk about it this Friday. Don't worry about it, Radhakant. Now a lot of YouTubers, like almost every YouTuber who is in educational field, very are hurried about talking about this topic. So let them all subside, let the dust settle. Then we are going to talk about it in a calm manner, with an objective mind, with an open mind, that what is good and what is bad about this. Mostly people are saying it is good only, but we are going to look at it in a proper manner. Okay. Next. What are your future plans? Only YouTube or planning to jump in some coaching industry? Okay, this is the last question. So we are going to end the podcast with it. But I'm going to answer it properly, because I know a lot of people might be thinking that I might be starting a coaching institute, or I might be joining a coaching institute. But that has never been my idea. But I want to answer it properly. I do not want to get into coaching institutes and all that, because that again, I'm going to have a very tiring job, like teaching all day, and then again taking the responsibility of so many students' career, especially when you have taken so huge amount of money from them, is not right. Because I've already talked about it, like 99% of the result coming out from any coaching institute is failure only. Okay, there's no doubt in that, right? But those who failed but still gave you this amount of money, it's not fair, right? So I'm not going to get into that. I will continue to teach for free on YouTube. You might have seen that I've made a lot of lectures on fluid mechanics, and I'm going to continue with heat transfer and things like that, because I like teaching. So I'll continue to do that. What my future plan is right now, what you're listening to, that is my podcast. I want to make it big. Right, I'm running 4 different podcasts. If you're not knowing, this is the Momentum podcast. There's a Spacecast podcast on Ashish Ranjan channel. There's a Talk Talks podcast on my Talk Talks channel, that is on martial arts, and there's a Talk and Fire podcast going on over there also in Komal's channel, right? So I want to make it big. If you do not know, my podcasts are available in all the platforms, even Apple Podcast. So and the audience is increasing day by day. So I'm good at that. I'm good at speaking without any script, and I want to express my thoughts, all right, like this. So I think that it is the best place for me. Also, if you are asking about my future plans, right now, I think in 2 months, we'll start hiring, all right, because a lot of workload is coming up, and our team is very small and is not able to handle everything, okay? So we'll start hiring in somewhere around 2 months if everything goes good. And by next January, it is going to turn into next level, all right? And by the mid of next year, it is going to go to a huger if that is a word, okay, to another level, okay, like international level, right? So that is my current plan. But not only podcast, but I want to get into other things also. I'm not that much of a business minded person, but right now I'm also involving a lot of time in writing and all. So there's a big news coming over there also. We are also working on some projects side by side that I do not want to disclose, but these are kind of my future plans. Not that much sure also, because I do not believe on keeping a sure future plan, because every now and then you are going to find new opportunities and you bend according to that, right? That is my idea. All right, guys, I was able to answer all the questions that I selected. I think there were total 18 questions. And if you still have some question, put it down in the comment section. You know that I reply to each and every comment. If you're on YouTube, this is the best place for you to answer. And you can listen to these podcasts on Google Podcasts or all the audio platforms. I'll link it down in the description box if you're just working out or something, or you're more comfortable with audio version. But if you want to see my beautiful face all the time, then YouTube is the place for you. Other than that, there's a member special join button available, and that will give you very good access to coming to the smaller community that we are having for members. It is basically a way to get into the inner circle. Tomorrow also I'm going to have a member special live session. And basically these days it is going in the direction of how to start something on your own, something that you were asking for, right? So in the last member special live session, I talked about that you can grow like this on YouTube, you can grow like this on podcast field, you can grow like this by being a blogger. And a lot of them said that we are not comfortable facing the camera. So I said that, hey, you can become a blogger. And one of the member actually started for free a blogging website. And tomorrow we are going to talk about how you can monetize it, how you can use affiliate marketing and all that to actually earn money out of it, right? So these days it is going in that direction. But basically the 3 levels, that is student, engineer and scientist, is basically like engineers and scientists are going to get every month engineer specific video, right? We have talked about space shuttle, we have talked about the nuclear power plants, the rocketry videos, or the nuclear science and engineering videos. If you are interested in a lot of that, engineers or scientist level will be good for you. Also engineers and above get members only live session. Students, all they get is that they will get into a special group where I will be able to answer their questions very fast. These days like so many questions comes that I'm not able to keep track. Don't ever DM me on Instagram and expect an answer. I never reply over there. All right, all I reply is in the comment section. And if you want to get into the inner circle, then you can click on the join button. Students level is good for that, but engineer and above will be getting direct interaction in the live session, right? So it depends on that. Maybe if you cannot invest that much, it starts with ₹59 only, you can get into student. Later you can upgrade it also. But if you do not want to join, that is also completely fine, because the content of Talk 4712 will keep on coming, just like it has been coming. All right, so I'll keep on replying to each and every comment down in the comment section also. But if you need more guidance, then you can click on the join button. And that's about it, guys. A lot of interesting podcasts are going to come. For example, the Momentum podcast has good line of podcasts coming up. Like I'm already overloaded with guests because I have to do it one by one. Spacecast, I'm taking on, like a lot of ISRO scientists are ready to come and talk about some rocketry stuff. So that is also good. If you do not know about that, it is on my second YouTube channel, Ashish Ranjan. You can go over there and subscribe if you're interested in rocket science and also personality development. I'm talking about a lot of personality development stuff over there, like how you can improve your spoken English, and a lot of small problems, that how you can maintain your continuity. These are the questions that were coming from the audience itself, or I'm lacking of words while speaking. So these are the questions that I'm addressing over there. And that's about it. I'll see all of you in the next one. Till then, bye. Thanks for watching or listening, and see you next time. 万華鏡車輪眼